You might be saying to yourself, hey, Morgan, what are you doing in your closet? Isn't this a book channel? And to that I would say yes, it is a book channel, but it's so much more than that. Because today we're mixing clothes and books because we're matching everything I read this week to my outfits, which obviously I have yet to get ready for the day, but I need to pick out my book and I need to pick out a matching outfit. So recently this beauty has been staring at me on my book cart. I literally hear it whispering at night, pick me up, read me. You want to read me, and I'm gonna listen to it because it's been on my book cart for too long. I've seen so much hype around this and I'm so late to the game on this book, but I'm excited and it feels like the right time to read it because I'm very much in the mood for it. But that also means I'm only gonna wear black, blue, a little bit of gold, maybe a little bit of brown. Those are the only colors I can stick to today because I want to match this book, and I think I have an idea in mind. I'm thinking maybe my black bodysuit. I feel like this might tie in the blue. This is just a little scarf that my mom got when she was traveling. It's beautiful, but I'm thinking maybe I can like use it as my pop of blue somehow, like fold it so that the blue is showing more than all this color on the bottom. Let's try that. I'm back. I did my hair, makeup, all of that. I think I matched the book pretty good. It's not perfect, but I did the best I could because I really wanted to pull in the blue and the gold that's on the cover. So used this little scarf that I showed you earlier, kind of tied it around my head and did like a little messy bun. And then I went with gold jewelry so that it goes with the gold on the cover. And then I moved you down so you could see my jeans a bit better, but they're just like wide leg little jeans from Old Navy. I kind of like how this outfit turned out. I feel like I matched the book pretty nicely. I had to take the little scarf out of my hair because it was actually driving me crazy because it kept slipping. I no longer have my pop of blue at the moment, but that's fine. That's the only thing I've changed. But I've already gotten to chapter 4, which is page 36, and honestly, before this point, the only thing I knew about this book was that it was about two people that wrote letters to each other using a typewriter. And honestly, that was enough for me to want to read it because I'm obsessed with typewriters. But so many people have raved that this is such a good romantasy that I have been wanting to read it. Also, can we talk about this? This is so cute. Anyways, I will say one thing I was not expecting about this book was that there's actually like world building in it right now, which I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. I think maybe in my head I just kind of forgot that this is a fantasy, like there's gonna be at least a little bit of world building in it. But when I sat down to read, I was like, oh, my brain is like actually working. I don't know why I was expecting this book to be like super lighthearted, super quick read to where I like didn't even have to think about it, which honestly, I don't have to think about it that much. Like it's not a crazy amount of world building to where I'm like, what the heck? So right now I feel like it's the perfect amount of world building. Like it's not just straight world building. I'm not losing my mind, you know? It is too early on for me to tell if I like this or not, but I am very, very excited to see where the typewriter comes into play. But basically the main character, I think her name is Iris, but in the very beginning of the book, her brother goes off to fight in the war. So she's left with just her and her mom and things just kind of go south. So she gets this job at a newspaper, which apparently is like a very highly sought after job, and she got it after dropping out of school, so that's kind of impressive. I'm on page 78 and something just happened that made me a little bit emotional, and I'm starting to really get into the story. It's been good from the start, honestly, but I feel like things are really starting to pick up and I'm very intrigued to see where things go because right now I feel like literally anything could happen. Also, it's so funny because I was thinking of ways to like describe the romance in this book, and then I was like, oh, they're like rivals to lovers. Literally divine rivals, like that's literally the name of the book. So I thought that was funny, but also you could tell from the very beginning who the romance is going to be between, which I really liked, especially because it's kind of a shorter book. Like I don't want things to drag on, and so far they're not being dragged out at all. Obviously I haven't done my hair or gotten dressed yet because we're gonna get dressed together, and I wanted to give a quick update before I got dressed because I made it to pretty much exactly halfway through this book last night, and I put it down at such an intense part that I like woke up this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I put it down like while that was going on. And the only reason I did that was because I was actually falling asleep. Like I had pushed myself to keep reading for so long that my brain could barely function at that point. Like I got probably 6.5 hours of sleep last night, maybe something like that, simply because I was pushing myself to keep reading this book. I couldn't stop. Like I could stop, but I didn't want to stop, which keeps happening to me recently. Like even if it's a mediocre book, honestly, I can't not read it. Like when I'm laying in bed at night, all I want to do is read. This book is not mediocre though at all. We are back in my closet trying to figure out what to wear. Originally I was thinking an outfit that was mostly black with a pop of blue, but I'm looking at my closet and I feel like that's not really an option. Like I don't have a lot of blue. Got a lot of lighter blue, but I don't have a lot that matches this dark blue, almost purple on the cover. I'm gonna look and try to figure out what I have and pull out some options. I think I've come up with an outfit, but if it looks bad on me, I'm going to be upset because this is the closest thing I have to matching this cover. Long sleeve cotton on shirt. These long sleeves, perfect for layering in the winter and just good staples, but it is the summer, but it's going to be slightly chillier today. Also, not planning to really leave the house today, so that shouldn't be a problem. Anyways, then I think I'm gonna try to pair that with this little skirt from Aerie, which I will say, every time I've tried to wear this skirt, I don't like how it looks. No matter how I style it, I feel like I just don't like it. I'm gonna try this and see what it looks like. I feel like a little black denim jacket would also be really cute, but like I said, it is still warm outside. I'm just choosing to wear a long sleeve just for this video and to match the outfit, because like I said, every time I try to style this skirt, I don't like it, and I think my best option is going to be my black long sleeve with this skirt. I feel like I don't have a ton to work with, so this is as good as it's gonna get. I ended up throwing on this little sweatshirt with like the buttons on buttons so you can see the black under, and honestly not really obsessed with this outfit, but I feel like it's the best I can do with what I have and the colors on the cover, because there's really not much for me to go off of here, I feel like. But I do like how the blue skirt matches like perfectly, and like I said, I have not figured out a way to style this skirt that I'm obsessed with. I do like this outfit, I'm just like not obsessed with it, and I worry that I'm going to get too hot as it gets warmer throughout the day, so we'll see if I end up having to take my sweatshirt off or something like that. But I do like this better than just having the plain black on. I'm coming back on here just to show you that I have now thrown my sweater over my shoulder, which I love. This is giving fall vibes, even though it is not fall at all. But I love the little over the shoulder sweater moment, even though this is technically a crew neck, not a sweater. But I like this so much better, which is weird because I hated just the black shirt and the skirt. Something about the sweater I feel so much more comfortable. I got through the intense part that I was talking about earlier, and oh my goodness, it was so cute. I can literally feel myself falling in love with the characters and the romance in this book, and I'm just so excited to see where it's gonna go from here. I'm gonna make this update quick because I look like this and I'm obviously in bed, but I'm on page 245 and I'm actually so obsessed with this right now. Like, I'm going through the feeling where I really want to finish the book, but I also don't want to finish the book at the same time because I never want it to end. And also just like all I can think about when I put this book down is reading this book, which makes me feel like it's a very high potential to be a 5-star. I also feel like this book has almost made me cry so many times. Just have so many different emotions, like happy and sad tears. Literally just all of the feelings with this book. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it because it is already pretty late, but I am just like, I want to know what happens, and I feel like I'm so close to finishing it. It's the next day before I go get dressed because I'm obviously still in my pajamas. Let's talk about Divine Rivals. Finished this last night. It was so good. I just can't stop thinking about it, but I will say there were a couple things in the end that I did end up guessing. Not like the full ending by any means, but there were just a couple things that happened in the last, like, I don't know, maybe like 50 pages that I guessed, which was very disappointing. I hate being able to guess literally anything in a book. Like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever read a book where I've guessed something and I've been like, yeah, I liked that I guessed that, you know? My gut is telling me that it is a 5-star, but also I don't know if I can give this a 5-star knowing that I guessed some parts, because like I said, I hate being able to guess things. Anytime I guess something when I'm reading in a book, I'm like, no, stop guessing. Like, I'm trying to turn my brain off so I stop guessing, but I just can't turn my brain off. Like, I wish I could. I'm thinking it's gonna be a 5-star. I'll tell you at the end of this video if it's a 5-star for sure or not, but we are starting so strong and I'm very excited to see where this takes us in the next book, even though I feel like a lot of people have said that they don't really like that book as much. Let's go get dressed and pick our next book. I think I already figured out what I want to wear today. I think it's gonna be perfect. I'm really excited. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna look on, but I feel like it matches the book perfectly. I was looking at the cover and I was like, okay, I really only have like blue, tan. Maybe I could get away with like a pop of pink and yellow, and I don't have anything that's yellow. Like not a single thing in my closet is yellow, except I have a yellow t-shirt, but I don't really want to wear a t-shirt today. I really felt like I wanted to wear linen pants because I feel like that fits the vibe of the book. And my sister actually just gave me these linen pants that well, obviously she got them from Marshall's and she didn't like them, so she gave them to me. And then I also have this little blue t-shirt, which I think is gonna do perfect for like the ocean. So I'm gonna look very beachy today, but I feel like that's gonna fit the book perfectly. So let's go get dressed. I might do my hair, I might just leave it. I haven't decided yet. Would I normally wear this outfit out? No, I would not. Do I think it matches the book perfectly? Yes. Yes, I do. Like, look at this. You can't tell me that this doesn't match perfectly. Like you saw, the pants are from Marshall's. This little blue top, I have no idea where it's from, which is really unhelpful because it used to be my sister's and she gave it to me. There's something about these specific linen pants that make me feel like I should be going to bed. Like, they literally feel like PJs. Anyways, I have been reading a lot, actually. I'm already on page 89, and the one thing I will say is that something about the last two Elin Hilderbrand books I've read, I keep getting confused on the characters, on who is who. I don't know why, because I don't often do that, but there's just something about the last two books in this series, because this is technically the Nantucket series and the newest one just came out I think last month, and I believe that's the final book in this series as well. So anyways, there's something about those two books. I just keep getting all of the characters confused in the beginning. I eventually got it in the last book, so I'm assuming that's gonna happen with this one. I'm just gonna figure it out like as I go, but I do want to give you a quick synopsis of what this book is about. I went in fully blind. I honestly normally do that with my books. Also, this book is becoming a TV show very soon, which is exciting. I think it comes out next month, I believe, in September. At the very top, it says, they're the perfect couple about to have the perfect wedding until a shocking discovery reveals that nothing is ever good as it seems. Also, this book is so thick. Anyways, let's get back to the little synopsis. So basically, you have this couple, they're about to get married. They've kind of rushed the wedding because the bride's mom has stage 4 breast cancer. So obviously they are rushing it so that she can be a part of their special day. But then on the day of what is supposed to be their wedding, the maid of honor is found dead. So there's like that whole mystery to things. And I will say recently my favorite Elin Hilderbrand books have been when there is like that kind of mystery, just because I feel like she does it so well. Also, with me saying that, I really liked Summer of 69 as well, but I don't remember if there was a mystery in that. But she does very often do like this mystery aspect to her books, which I like. And like I said, this is the third book in a series, but you very much can read them on their own. It's less of a series and more of interconnected standalones if you ask me, because the only thing that's really connected within these books that I have noticed at least is the characters. Like, some of the characters are the same, like the chief of police has been the same. They talk about some of the characters in the first book, like the catering company. It's really just things like that that like pop up that are connected, because obviously they all live on Nantucket and Nantucket is pretty small. They connect in that sense, but I also don't feel like you need to read all three, and I don't think, well, I guess all four now, and I don't think most people do read them as a series. So if you're looking to pick this one up because the movie's coming out soon, I feel like you can do that without having to read the first two. Anyways, let's go keep reading and eat breakfast because I still have not eaten breakfast yet. I'm on page 194 right now. I'm pretty close to the halfway mark, and I'm actually shocked at how quick I'm reading this book because it is so large. And honestly, for the longest time, I thought that I had the big print version of this book. I don't. The text just feels really big for some reason, but I don't know. That might be helpful for why I feel like it is reading super quick, because I was a little bit nervous about how thick this book was. I didn't want it to feel dragged on. Right now, it does not feel dragged out at all to me, but there's also a lot going on. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of characters, and you're also switching in between two different timelines, actually multiple different timelines. So it's not really a timeline. You just kind of get like the dates of things, and I guess it is two different timelines. I don't know why what? Yeah, it's like the past and the present, but you're not following it exactly in chronological order because you go in different sections of the past, if that makes sense. Like you'll go super far back in the past, and then you'll also go in the past in the sense that you see what happens the night before the wedding. One thing about this series is that I really like the chief. I like the element that he brings to these books, like the investigative side of things. I really like that. But yeah, so far so good. Liking this better than the last one, which I think I gave a 3.5. So I have high hopes for the last half of this book. I'm running a little bit later this morning than I would like to be, but you can kind of tell by the mess that's behind me. I haven't gotten to pick up from the other video that I was filming this morning, but this is the outfit as of right now. I feel like I don't match this book enough, but I don't know what else to wear truly. And also I already know I'm going to have to change later because I have my tap class and I can't wear this to tap. I just can't. But this is the outfit as of right now. I feel like the only thing that matches is like the beach to my pants, and I guess I matched the text. So I kind of match, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like I matched that good. Also, for a very quick update on this book, I'm on page 250 right now. So I think I'm a little over halfway, maybe. I don't know. I still do really like it, and it's still just so shocking to me that this book hasn't felt slow at all because it is such a long book, but I feel like just so much is being uncovered. There's so many characters and so many different timelines to read about that I'm really enjoying it, and I don't feel bored at all. I literally put on the shirt to try to match the book and I don't match at all, but it's fine. Let's just pretend I do. Like I said earlier, I did have to change for my tap class. I'm about to head out right now, but I wanted to give you one quick update because I'm on page 271 and I have a prediction that I feel very strongly about. Like if this does not happen, I will be shocked. And it's kind of a smaller prediction. It has nothing to do with the mystery of this. I mean, I guess it kind of does. And I don't think I know who killed this girl, or like if she was killed by anyone. I don't think I know who it was. I feel like I just know a side plot that we're not supposed to be able to guess until it comes about, but I'm pretty sure I know what happens with that situation. But honestly, I won't even be upset if I did guess that correctly because I would be so proud of myself if that was correct. So I'm very excited to see if I'm right or not. I'm now on page 325 and I just want to say my prediction just now came true, and I'm just like, I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. It just had to. Like, it was like, I put the pieces together. I'm on page 342 and I just want to say I'm going to be very upset if the character that is like very obviously the most suspicious, if that character ends up being the character that like killed the girl, which is also funny because I literally just guessed a part of the book, but like I said, I wasn't even mad that I guessed that part of the book. I just like was proud of myself for guessing that, even though also I feel like it could have been very obvious and I'm just in my head thinking that it was not very obvious at all. I don't know, but I will be upset if this guy ends up being the killer, which I'm assuming there's gonna be a killer, but if he ends up being the killer, I'm gonna be upset because he has been the obvious choice since the very beginning. I don't want the final conclusion to be guessable. Like, I still have this much left, so guessing something around this mark is fine. Guessing something from the very beginning of the book, ugh, not fine. It's the next night. I'm plopping my hair again. I don't know why I ever come on camera looking like this, but I continue to do it anyway. But I didn't do like a themed matching outfit today because I honestly didn't think I would be able to read that much at all today, because today I scheduled out to be a full-on editing day, like editing weekly videos and a couple reels. So I spent like the entire day editing, but I did get around to reading some today. So I'm on page 448 right now and I think I might finish it. I don't know because I'm getting really tired. It just reads so nicely, so quick, and I want to know what happens because I feel like we got a good amount of the ending is like already done, but I just keep thinking surely there's got to be more to the story. It's the next day. I'm getting ready right now and I did end up finishing The Perfect Couple last night, but I'm going to tell you all of my thoughts on it later in the day. Because I'm getting ready, I'm picking out today's outfit, which I can't decide which book I want to read, so I'm picking an outfit that matches both books. So this is just like a brown little baby tee, and then I'm thinking just like some black jeans will go perfect together, and then also to match the cover. Let me show you the two books that I'm in between. The first one is The Timekeeper's Secret. So you can see there's black, brown, some gold, which I'll probably wear gold jewelry to tie in the gold on that cover. And then this is the other book. This is The Lost Constitution. A lot of brown, a little bit of black, red, and gold again. I just can't decide because I'm a little bit worried about The Timekeeper's Secret simply because I've never seen a book on Goodreads only have, I think it had 25 reviews. It only has 21 ratings. ratings on Goodreads and 12 reviews, which I've never seen that low of a number. But the ratings are so good on this book. Like, everyone seems to like it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna keep reading the sample of this book, and then if I end up feeling like that's gonna be a good pick for me, I'm gonna choose that one. And then if not, I'll just read this one. Which, this one, I read the back of it a really long time ago, and it was reminding me of a Dan Brown book, which is why I picked it up. I just don't know if I'm in the mood for this. I feel like I'm more in the mood for fantasy than like a historical fiction type of vibe. But I'm gonna get ready, and then hopefully I can decide pretty soon which book I want to read. It's raining right now and I just wanted to be super comfortable, so I threw on this sweatshirt, but I'm still wearing my tank top. It's just such rainy, comfy vibes right now that I felt like I needed to be in a hoodie. But I have been reading The Timekeeper's Secret, and I just started chapter 3, and I think I'm actually gonna buy the book because I was reading the sample and I still have like 20 pages left of the sample, but so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I will say the writing is like a little bit, like the writing feels like this was this author's first book. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It just like, I don't know, because I don't want to like hate on it because I am enjoying it and it is very much reminding me of Harry Potter. But it's reminding me of Harry Potter because they are at this like timekeeping school, and so far we're just following the main character who seems to think that time is tainted, and when she says that, basically the professor was like, don't you dare say that about time. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something uncovered there. Obviously, like, we haven't gotten to that, but I feel like since I'm still in the sample, that's not giving anything away. This also kind of reminds me of Cinder because they are made of like partially metal and mechanics, but it's different because everyone is made that way, but they're all like a different degree of like metal, and they're literally born that way, which is really interesting. And we've started to kind of dig into like what happened in the past that made them that way. So I do want to keep reading it. I'm excited to see where we're gonna go, and I'm really intrigued by the fact that there's like very little people that have ever read this book. That's all I'm gonna tell you about it because I don't want to spoil anything, but this was also pitched to me by someone that commented on one of my shorts on here, and I just realized I forgot to tell you my feelings for this book. I did really like it, but the ending just felt so flat for me. Like, I feel like it was kind of sped up too much, and the end of the mystery just was not good for me. Like, it was not what I was expecting it to be in a bad way, and I just wanted more from it. I felt like this book had so much potential, and then the end just kind of fell flat. I wish we also got a chapter of like, this is what happened the year after all of this happened, because there were a couple things that just were not answered that I really wanted to know what happened. So maybe we will end up learning that in the next book. I do really want to get to that book as well pretty soon. I have a hold on that book on Libby. This book was a 4-star. This might have been the highest that I've rated any of these books in the series. I can't remember, but I did really like this. The end just fell so flat for me, and I was really disappointed in that. But now I'm gonna make myself a sweet little treat, and I'm just gonna sit down and read for the rest of the evening. It's the next day. I don't know if you can tell, but you're in my closet right now. But I picked out literally the perfect outfit that matches this book perfectly, but it is way too warm outside today to wear it, and normally I would just wear it and be like whatever, but I'm doing some running around today outside. Not outside. I'm going to like shop. I'm going to a couple stores. I don't want to be too warm. So maybe if we don't finish this book today, I'll wear that tomorrow. For right now, I'm gonna try on this little tank top and shorts, which still matches the book. It's not really what I wanted to wear today. So I'm gonna try it on and see if I even like it. Is this a go-to outfit for me? Yes, it is. Does it match the book cover? Not so much. There's a tiny bit of like gold yellow in the book cover, but that's it. But I've stared at my closet for so long today that this is the best that it's gonna get. Plus, like I said, it's so hot today. I just need to have something that's like breathable and cool on so that I don't overheat. Let me also quickly tell you how I'm feeling about the book as of right now. I'm only like 25% of the way through it, which I thought I would be through so much more of it, but I didn't end up reading that much yesterday. But it is good so far. Nothing crazy has really happened. They have made like some discoveries, but I'm still also not really exactly sure what the end solution is supposed to be. Like, I don't know what the goal is of what they're doing right now, but sometimes when I'm reading it, I do feel like it's very obvious that this author is a very new author. And I don't know how to put that other than saying it like that. Not that I could do any better, but it does feel like this author is newer. And also the author did self-publish this book, which I love being able to read a book that was self-published just because I never get to do that. And we like never talked yesterday because I read like, let's check, until a little over the halfway mark. I am at 56% of the way through, which is like the only way that I know how to tell you because I think the book is like 355 pages, but I have the exact same feelings about the book so far as what I've already said. Like, the writing is the only thing that's like kind of holding me back, and also sometimes it feels a little bit dragged out, and I didn't really know like what their objective or end goal was until like somewhat recently, which I was not loving that either because I was like, okay, they're doing all these things, but why are they doing that? So I'm gonna keep reading it. Obviously, like, I don't want to DNF it, but as of right now I can't see it being higher than a 3-star, but I can also see myself wanting to read the second book because I already like want to read the second book. It is still very much giving Harry Potter vibes, but in a way that I'm like, are they trying to exactly like copy these characters? Because there's a character in there that reminds me so much of Neville, and then another character in there that reminds me so much of Hermione. So I'm like, I don't know if I love that or hate that. But let me show you my outfit because this was the outfit I was talking about yesterday that I was like, oh, this matches the book perfectly. Here is me and the book cover. You cannot tell me that this does not match like so perfectly. You can see there's like a tiny little bit of this like lighter blue creeping out, and then the dark in the cover with my black jeans. I've been so bad about telling you where all my outfits are from because honestly most of what I get is thrifted or like clothes from my sisters or my mom. So this shirt came from my mom. I believe it's from Express though, and then pants or Levi's. Obsessed with how this looks with the cover. I love this outfit. Got a very sad update for you all. It's obviously much later in the day and I am 83% of the way through this book, and I can't even lie, for the past 10% I have been thinking about DNFing it, but when I'm 83% of the way through the book, I'm like, I should really just keep going. Like, I'm so close. And I don't get it because all of the reviews on this book on Goodreads are so good. Granted, only 25 people have read it on Goodreads or something like that. Still, a 4.4 on Goodreads is good. I literally have like a notes app to talk to you guys about when I finish the book to really like deep dive into my thoughts, but right now I'm really not liking it, but I feel like I can't not finish the last like 20%, so I'm gonna try. I finished A Timekeeper Secret last night. I don't want to sit here and bash on it, but I did rate it a 2 stars, mostly because I did not think that the writing style worked for me and what I like in books. I really did not like the writing style at all. It felt almost Wattpad-y, and I don't mean that in like a bad way. It just felt kind of inexperienced, maybe, for lack of a better word. I don't know. Also, the way that the dialogue was written, like one character would say something and then in the middle of the paragraph it would say a different character's reaction while the other character would keep talking right after that. So the dialogue was just broken up kind of odd to me, and I would have to like think about who said what, which I eventually got used to. I just didn't love that. There was also just some things throughout the book that I was like, really, like, why is it like this? I just really didn't like it. I also feel like this book had such good potential in that the premise was really interesting, but I felt very let down by it, which is just very unfortunate. But that's all I want to say about it because, again, I don't want to sit here and bash it, mostly because I feel like I'm literally bashing an author's dreams right now because, like I said, it is an independently published book, so I don't want to sit here and bash that. And while we're here, I might as well recap the other 2 books I read in this video, starting with The Perfect Couple by Elin Hilderbrand. I really liked this book. I gave it a 4 star. The only thing that still stands out to me as to why it's not a 5 star is the ending. It just felt so flat for me, and I feel like we didn't get enough closure from the ending, as in, like, actually that's all I can say because I don't want to spoil anything, but I am very excited for the TV show to come out next month. And then I also read Divine Rivals in this video, and oh my goodness, I am so glad I read this book. It was so good. Gave this a 5 star. I loved the magical element in this with the typewriter. I know like I talked about this earlier, but I actually used to write on a typewriter all of the time. My dad bought me and my sister this like vintage restored typewriter that like obviously still worked because it was restored, but it was so cool to write on. I used to write like fake newspapers on this typewriter for my family, and it was just so fun. I loved that thing, and I'm like, maybe I should pull that back out and like type on it, because this story just made me like fall in love with that. And I feel like that's part of why I gave this a 5-star, because the typewriter honestly had such a nostalgic feeling, because I did used to write on that typewriter when I was younger. But if you're looking for a fantasy like this one, highly recommend. It was so good, and I'm so excited to get to the next book. And that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!